All right, welcome to Sports. Double D on vacation, so I'm Andy Wheeler. I'll be filling in for the next couple weeks. And wanted to kind of switch things up a little bit. Instead of just reading some scores, I want to kind of get into a little discussion, nothing deep, nothing political, just talking sports. So I got some guests on the show joining me here, starting from the far side, representing Select Care, Frankie Perez.
Hi.
We have Senator-elect Clint Rigel, and from the court, not the basketball court, the other one, we've got Sean Gimentata. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's age before beauty going this way. That's on the set.
So if you've seen any kind of TV, local television programming, you've seen these guys in the past 20 years or so no strangers to the set. But I wanted to get you all on because in one way or another, you've been involved in, covered sports, and just had it a part of your lives. So I wanted to talk about what you guys feel, some of the important things about being involved in sports, athletics, as you're a kid growing up, or even today. Frankie, we can talk about your recovery a little bit and jiu-jitsu, how that helped. But sports at a young age, Sean, starting with you, how do you think that helped you a little bit later on in life and where you are now?
Believe it or not, I played soccer as a young person. I wrestled in high school and played football. And I would say that, especially my high school years, that it really did kind of guide me mentally how I would approach not only the balance of high school, but college. I know that, it's an individual sport, so a lot of times people will think, oh, is it, how do you play with people, play with others? But if it wasn't for the experience in high school, wrestling at San Leandro High School in California, I eventually came back. When I came back to Guam, I reffed for, gosh, almost 20 years. Had 11,000 matches as a ref.
Wow.
So all it did was frame how I deal with things. Just, it's about no nonsense. Get out there and get the job done.
Yeah.
And you're not going against anybody else, just one other person. So that was part of the challenge.
You look like you still get on the mat, maybe.
I'm still playing soccer.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
And
stay active,
having fun.
And Clint, you're getting ready to join a pretty important team in January. And your youth growing up playing sports, how do you think that affected your life now?
Well, they say politics is Guam's favorite sport, so.
True.
Yeah.
So, I started out playing soccer when I was young. Woodward Hills Wolverines.
Hey.
Then I also played basketball in high school and stuff for Guam Community College, GCC tradesman. And so sports, of course, it teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you discipline, teamwork, and how to work together towards a common goal.
And even if it is an individual sport, it teaches you that work ethic because you have to practice, you have to be up early, you have to go make those late night workouts and whatnot. So it all benefits, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it teaches you about rules and about following rules and, and abiding by rules and a lot of things that have to do with honor and honesty and things of that nature,
Frankie, getting to you, talking jiu-jitsu, we were mentioning a little bit out in the lobby. You started getting into that, and then your cancer diagnosis that you fought through and you beat. You have said that you think jiu-jitsu played a big part in that recovery and just keeping your mind right, you know what I mean, as well as your body.
Yeah, well, sure. A lot of my motivation during the treatment was, to get back on the mat. Like, I want to be healthy enough to get back on the mat. So that was one goal. And, jiu-jitsu really puts you in uncomfortable situations, I usually would say, but it teaches you to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. So, being in the hospital and being, going through treatment, I actually took a lot of the things that kept me motivated on the mat, and I translated it to, in the hospital doing treatment. There was we have a saying where all we need is 1 inch. And so that's basically, when I was in my hospital bed trying to turn to my side, I was like, all I need is 1 inch. And then I do 1 inch. And I go, all I need is another inch. And then I do another inch. And then eventually I'm on my side, So,
yeah, life's not always comfortable.
No, it's
and
not.
And so it kind of helps.
Yeah. And, going back to high school sports and things like that, I think it's very important because it does translate to your later years. It teaches you how to, bad calls with refs, how do I look at Sean when I say that, but
yeah, I know that was directed right over there.
I covered these guys when they were when they were playing their high school sports. So that's
but it teaches you how to accept it, how to handle it, how to move on.
Yeah, and I think one of the main things is it builds confidence in kids. That hey, if I can deal with my coach who's yelling at me, the ref who can't see anything because he's useless. It teaches you how to deal with those things and move on. Say like, hey, I got handed some lemons. Well, I'm going to make the most of it.
You know, I coach under 10s for the Shipyard Wolverines, so I've been doing that since 2001. I absolutely appreciate that in terms of taking those lessons to these kids. Because a lot of times, you know, the kids, whether they're at school, they're at home, it's a completely different environment. But then you put them on a team on a field, make them understand the object of a game, and all of a sudden their minds change. And that's an important part of what sports brings to young people today. And sometimes it might be lost. We don't see it all the time in our schools.
For sure.
But maybe in our neighborhoods too. But at least through sport, we can at least bring them a little bit more focus.
I hope so. That is the goal, after all. Guys, I want to thank you so much. I know we didn't have a whole lot of time. We could go on about this for hours and hours and hours. But Frankie, Clint, Sean, thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Okay,
thanks for
having me.
All right, we're going to be back with more, guys. Keep it here.